Hi, I'm Dr. Robert D. McDonald again. Here I want to tell you a little bit about what the Telos Healing Center is about. I want you to know about Telos. A lot of people understand and have heard the word agape. Agape means essentially the open-hearted love of the one for the many, unconditional love, perhaps the unconditional love of God for all. The telos is the opposite of the one love for the many. It's the wisdom of the many that seeks the one. The telos is the ultimate goal of all goals and processes. Aristotle talked about agape. He also talked about telos. Telos is spelled T-E-L-O-S. It has the same beginning as in telephone and television and so on. And it means not necessarily distance, but in the word telos is about ultimate results. So the ultimate goal or design of ourselves is to seek oneness, to seek love, to seek happiness. Aristotle said the ultimate goal of all goals and processes for human beings is happiness. Everybody's seeking happiness. So I called our center the Telos Healing Center because I'm interested in the kind of healing that we can do to help people to get more and more of the happiness that we're designed as human beings to have. And so we want to remove roadblocks to the telos. And removing roadblocks is one way of talking about the destination method. What we do is we go around and we find out what's in the way of our happiness and remove them. But I want you to know a little bit more deeply about telos. Telos is a way of talking about the ultimate goal of all goals. So the goal of the goal, a goal of a goal, is the telos of the previous goal. The goal of the goal of the goal of the goal, the ultimate goals of all goals, is the ultimate telos. So what I mean by that is if you imagine walking down a street and on one side of the street somebody's building a house and the other side of the street somebody's burning one down, we can videotape these activities. Those are not mental experiences that people imagine. They are actually videotaped and observable. They're absolutely objective. They can be videotaped and measured. This person burns a house down. This person builds a new house. That we can see that. Those are activities. What we want to do is do something more inward by asking the person who's burning the house down, what are you doing that for? What is your goal? What is the goal of your behavior? And he might say, well, I want the insurance money. Go to the other one, some man who's building a house, and say, you're building a house, what do you want to do that for? And he may say, well, what I really want is my goal in building this house is that I have shelter for my family. And then we notice, both these men have goals in their behavior. We then make decisions about the goals. We say, well, one person's goal, insurance money, by doing a criminal activity, of burning a house down, getting insurance money, we say, well, we don't like that. We say that's wrong or bad or evil, unacceptable, criminal. The other one, we say, well, you want to have shelter for your family, you're building a house, that's good. And so we end up in a kind of a difference, showing this strong difference. Most people don't ask the next question, which moves toward the goal of the goal. But what if we did? What if we went back to the one who's burning the house down? So you're burning the house down in order to get insurance money, okay, and what do you hope to get by having the insurance money? What is the goal of your goal? And that person might say, well, once I have the insurance money, then I'll have power. Say, oh, okay, you're doing this because you want to have power ultimately. He says, yes. And then we go to the one who's building the house. So you're building this house to have shelter for your family, and what do you hope to get when you have shelter for your family? And that person might say, well, when I have shelter for my family, I'll know that I've provided well. So I can regard myself with higher self-esteem. So then we're comparing power and self-esteem as goals. But notice, we can continue to ask the goal of the goal and discover where that takes us. It takes us to a place that we wouldn't predict normally because most people don't ask. But if we go back to the one who's burned the house down in order to get the insurance money, in order to have power, and say, and when you get power, lots of power from this, what is that going to do for you? What is the goal of that? And that person might very well say, I'll have self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, self-confidence. Or maybe I'll be able to influence people. They'll like me. And the other person who is building the house in order to have self-esteem, once you get the self-esteem, what's that going to give you? The person says, well, greater happiness, greater love, peace of mind. And the same thing with the other one. Ultimately, both men irrespective of their behavior, are intending something that you and I would applaud, which is love, peace, joy, happiness. What we notice is that we can disagree with and dislike and disapprove of one kind of behavior to produce that result and another kind of behavior to produce that result. We can even notice that the criminal behavior tends not to produce that result. But notice what we're doing now. We're separating the intent from the behavior. And the telos, when I work with people to help them using the destination method, I'm constantly aware of this to help people to make changes by pointing out that what they really want to get through the behavior that they're engaged in, even if the behavior doesn't work, they really want to have something I want them to have. And that's the telos. Thank you very much.